All right, so you guys asked for this. It said, should I talk about mayonnaise and condensed milk land, Ukraine, and mention my thoughts based on the information I see and of those around me? 64% said yes. Now, I don't know how this community stuff works too well on YouTube, so hopefully I don't say anything. Hopefully I'm able to say everything without getting this channel messed up and offline. Yeah. What can I say? Man, this these average car haulers dying, or average people, okay, without like just sounding all confusing. Average guy is dying. That's like the worst thing. Families destroyed, split apart, relationships devastated because of lost loved ones and all this stuff, and people dying. We don't need none of that. And it's like third year now. How insane. Someone posted 500 days. That's insane. It almost means, it's like, I mean, come on. You can't solve a conflict within a short time in this day and age. That means it's not a conflict. That means it's a profitable business, that somebody's making profit. And it's probably not you and I, right? Probably not the average Joe, probably not the average car hauler making profit off of all these people dying. So, yeah. You know, it's interesting. Today I got connected with someone that I met in Ukraine when I was 15 and 16 years old. You know, I opened up my Facebook this morning and get a bunch of likes from what looks like someone that wants to be a friend and is probably a scammer, because that's kind of how they do. And I looked at this guy and I was like, bro, this is Vitaly from over 20 years ago. I was like, you're still alive? And I called him and I talked to him, and it was him. And he had some trouble in paradise and in his past, and we got connected. And I was like, wow, cool. So yeah, he says he didn't have to go to war or fight. He said because of his religious beliefs and him being a missionary, you don't have to go fight on the front lines. He was able to be like a chaplain or something like that, like help people, give them aid. So he continues to help people with their legs chopped off and stuff like that. Like literally, he goes to hospitals and like helps people out that are in the hospitals. So it's like, oh, maybe we should support you or something. I don't know. Would love to hear more about your ministry. Let's make a YouTube video. And he's kind of shy about YouTube, but maybe we'll do that. If you guys want, let me know in the comments. But back to like business, right? And what this could all mean. Word on the street now is, it's kind of like we dug up Africa, stole all their resources that they could sell themselves, right? Remember, we're not even like, many places are so commercialized, you're not allowed, the locals aren't even allowed to profit off of that themselves, off of their own resources. They can't even sell their own crops to themselves. They have to export it, right? Like export sugar cane, right? In a country where people have never tried a candy that's made of sugar. It's so weird. So just like imagine Ferraris being sent everywhere in the world except Italy. I mean, how absurd would that be? That's kind of where things are for many industries and in many places, in many cities, countries, territories. Excuse me. So, where am I going with this? It's like we have this whole globalization industrialness where it's more convenient, cheaper to go to the store and buy some produce instead of grow it yourself or buy it from the grandma on the street, which you don't see nowadays, right? There used to be grandmas in the streets that would like sell vegetables, you know, from their gardens and stuff like that. So you could just give them a few dollars and make yourself delicious salad. So we gave that away to the stores and to the industries because it's cheaper for them to do it instead of a grandma. But we also gave them like the rights to our health, right? So a lot of that's been going on, and I know a lot of you guys are kind of aware of this kind of stuff, right? So it seems like we go steal oil from like poor countries that can't do anything about it, and then so we don't allow them to sell it, and then we sell it instead. And so that's what I think is going on. We're going to steal not oil from Ukraine, but other resources. Lithium, cobalt, I don't know, electric car ingredients, battery ingredients. We're going to steal food production. My friend and I, in this conversation this morning, we talked a little bit about that. And he said, yeah, 60% of Europe is fed from the land where Ukraine was. I probably shouldn't say Ukraine was, or it still is, but word on the street is saying they're going to split it up, and part of it's going to be Russia and the other part's Poland. What do you guys know about that? Comment below. And then also word on the street is next is other former USSR helpless nations like Kazakhstan and Uzbekistan and, you know, wherever Borat's from, basically, if you're a stupid American like me and don't know about all those other countries. So, of course, we're going to take the weak, steal what they got, and sell it, and put a nice smart city there, huh? Like a smart, like those smart thermostats, huh? Not like this guy, right? Which I only can control and can keep it as cold as I want it and as long as I want it, right? The smart ones. I was thinking, what if you could control that with the internet? Call your truck from the internet and have it pre-cool your air conditioner. Wouldn't that be cool? Pre-cool your air conditioning before you go to your truck. I mean, if you could do that on an electric car like Tesla, why can't you do it on a nice Volvo like this, huh? This Dushin-built metal Volvo. This is even metal too back here, but he put a lot of padding, I think. So, like I said in the other video, this truck's got a lot of metal. It doesn't shake when you're driving, you know, when you're doing 100 miles an hour. So it's kind of cool. Don't ask me how I know that. All this like smart thermostats like they had in Texas recently, which you could control from your phone through the internet, and all of a sudden someone else controlling it too and tuned it up a little bit because they said, I don't think we got enough electricity to handle this, so we gotta bump you up a couple degrees, which a lot of Texans, as they should because they're American, and if you want to run your air conditioning as much as you want and run up your electrical bill as much as you want, you should be able to do that, just like I'm burning diesel fuel right now as much as I want just to keep cool with my efficient trip pack. So man, it is cold in here. I'm looking for a blanket to cover my feet. It is cold. Here, let me turn that off, and then I'll kind of go for a walk. So I'm gonna turn it off all the way. Now, spookily quiet. So, anyways, the smart stuff is coming, right? Smart thermostats, smart cars, which I enjoy some of the cool stuff in it, but not the cool stuff, which is where Korean hacker, Russian hacker, some hacker can log in, anonymous hacker, right? Even though anonymous are kind of interesting people and there's a lot to like, but an anonymous hacker can log in an electric car and smart stuff and see where your wife shops and stuff through the internet. So smart cities are kind of the next thing, right? They were saying something about Charles Schwab saying everything's going to be rented. You're not going to own anything in the future, and you're going to be happy about it. Rent clothes, rent where you live, rent the oxygen you breathe, all this stuff. And I was like, yeah. So how profitable, how cool it would be if you're a bazillionaire investor and you take like a big part of Europe to test your smart city ideas with and build a place where everyone has to go somewhere with the QR code and pay some kind of subscription fee or some kind of way to make money off of it, right? Or if you're Serge the car hauler, you tell them to make YouTube videos so you can make 15 cents a click. Otherwise, they can't go to your smart city. So I won't be surprised if some smart city type stuff starts popping up as we rebuild Ukraine and continue pointing the fingers at the bad people. I was like, well, somebody hired the bad people to be bad. Come on. People aren't just bad, you know. A lot of killers out there get hired by, hitmen get hired. But instead we're told, hey, blame the hitmen. Come on, somebody's paying the hitmen. So that's where all my car hauler intelligence leads me to believe that we want to create a world where everything's electric, no use of clutches, no mechanical, manual transmission, mechanical pump diesel engines, even in third world countries such as Ukraine. And I know a lot of people from Kiev or something will say, hey, don't be calling us you third world countries. Well, you know what I got to say about Ukraine? My biggest beef with it is that Central Dispatch is blocked in Ukraine. Why? Is it still blocked? Let me know. I'm not sure if it is, but that's one of the things I disliked about Ukraine, because Central Dispatch was blocked. And I try to work with some Ukrainians. So why would they do that? Why would you block car haulers on the internet? It's stupid. It's weird. So there's a lot of weird stuff like that going on, including that, which got me thinking about all this other stuff. So if you can make any sense of it, that's kind of what I'm trying to make sense of it. But in reality, we'll never know the truth. But I think it's somewhere along those lines. Some smart stuff is coming. And electric cars, we want to push all this smart stuff. It makes me feel like going to the grandma's in the villages of a country like that and asking them for all their produce, all their seeds, and growing my own produce and saving the seeds, because hauling these refrigerated loads like I'm doing now, you see how you go to these warehouses, you see how industrialized everything is. And it's kind of like we're dependent only on these warehouses, and a famine like Revelation talks about could happen. But most of the time, I'm turning on my trip pack again. It's getting warm, so it's going to start up. Love that thing. Love it. Like, at these warehouses, they're just average guys like us, too. And it's not like they're going to hoard all the food. But what if they somehow go out of business one day, and all of them do? Then Revelation stuff could be, worldwide famine more true. So yeah, I'm like scared. I feel like we need to have our own gardens, be independent, and resist all this smart stuff, smart technology, and keep the smart cities away from us, or smart city technology away from our cities. So, yeah. What do you guys think? I mean, we're like so told to hate one nation or another one with all this war stuff going on. And I was like, come on, we've seen this before over and over again. We're told so many times to hate black guys, to hate white guys, to hate Mexicans. But what we really should hate is those that cannot drive a stick shift, or those that don't understand how much weight 80,000 pounds could be, and they get in a four-wheeler and cut you off and brake check you, or slow down and make a right-hand turn. The other day, man, I think the dash camera got this. Police officer brakes, doesn't even do a turn signal, off the interstate, pulls over into the grass, and I thought he was pulling into the exit ramp, which is where this happened. And he just stops right there in the grass. I almost creamed. No, I didn't almost cream the car, but I was like, why do I have to slam on the brakes so hard on the interstate just so you could pull into your speed trap grass? Why don't you turn your turn signal on ahead of time and indicate specifically that you're going off-road, not make it look like you're going on the exit ramp, which put me in a tough situation. That's what we're supposed to hate, incorrectness like that. But we're told by the TV to hate those girls, for the mayonnaise girls to hate the condensed milk girls, and the condensed milk girls to hate the mayonnaise girls. It's like, come on. That's an inside joke, by the way. I always teased Slavs and sometimes Ukrainians about mayonnaise and condensed milk. So, I don't know. What should it be? Ukrainians be condensed milk people, and Russians be mayonnaise? They're the same, right? You know, the reason why I'm asking that is because I can't figure out, because they're both the same. They're all Slavs. They all consume too much mayonnaise and too much condensed milk. So, yeah, it's like that. What do you think? Will smart cities pop up? Smart technology? People are like, we want this war to end. Well, we've heard that before, right? We want this Iraq war to end. We want this war on terrorism to end. What if it never ends? What if it's so profitable they're like, we made so much money, we're going to continue making money. I mean, think of how many mini Lockheed Martin companies have kind of popped up during this war. And would they want to go away? By the way, Lockheed Martin is a company that builds stuff for the military in the United States, and they built some pretty cool jets and flying technology. They probably built all the alien spaceships too, but it's like they sell to the government, who uses that stuff for war. And I've learned that a lot of war supplies businesses have recently popped up in Ukraine. Do we want those to go away? I bet you they're enjoying making their profits. So those are some things to think about. Like, what are the hidden and open in plain sight profits, agendas, patterns that come out from all of this, that will steal our equity in the future at the price of our emotions and neglect, right? Expressed through hate for our brother. Because they are on the other side. Yeah, I had a conversation with a truck driver a couple months ago. He wanted some recommendations, and then he asked where I was born, where I was from. He's like, oh, you were born in Moldova, so you're not for the war? I was like, wait a minute, buddy. Wait a minute. What does that have to do with anything? Vanguard Fund, BlackRock, State Street. I mean, both Putin and Biden are connected to Vanguard Fund. Maybe even you and I, because we got retirement accounts that buy funds and possibly one of those accounts. So if you invest or pay taxes in the United States, or basically if you're here, then you're contributing some way, somehow to the war, aren't you? Man, that guy upset me, because I told him right away, I discriminate against one thing: whether you can drive stick shift or not. I'm a married man. I don't talk to strange women. He should. Why'd he take the conversation there later if I told him that ahead of time? I really do ask a lot of people whether they drive stick shift or not. It's kind of like a fun thing that I started doing and had a lot of fun with it. Be like, why don't you tell me, man? Like, I'd have like I couldn't find common ground with someone, and if I ask them that, and then they say, yeah, I can drive stick shift, and I was like, oh, good to know, man. Nice to talk to, it's a fast, easy way to build common ground. But when they say automatic, or some people say, I never had a chance to learn stick shift, I was like, so then I see that they'd like to learn when they get a chance. So that's cool too. But others, a cop once said, "No, I only know how to drive automatic." And I was like, "Man, I can't talk to you. Sorry. We can't be friends. Go play with some dolls." You know, I said that as in a joking manner, and kind of try to make him feel ashamed for not knowing. And he's like, "Yeah, I should know. I should know." You know, why aren't we really talking about this stuff? You know, it's a manly thing to drive a car. It's a manly thing to know how to drive stick shift. So yeah, maybe Bud Light should have mentioned some of that, huh? Now, now all that stuff happening with them, it's just comical. By the way, have you guys seen that Dylan Mulvaney? I've been checking out his channel lately just to kind of see what he's about, and I noticed some of the women commenting. They're like, "This guy is like a fake trans because he or she he she he she he that should be the nickname. He made the first video as like a parody, but it made so much response that it got so much attention that they decided to make more, and is only a trans on the internet, but not in real life, or maybe in real life as like a public figure, but in reality is just a bad man. And there's like women that are commenting like it's making fun of women, like the whole tampon thing. Like that's not something, a joke that women would enjoy, like and talking about experiencing periods or something. That's like a very sensitive subject for women. That's something that's really painful. And for women to comment about that and say, you shouldn't go there because that's kind of none of your business, that's saying something. So, I don't know why I brought all that up, but maybe we shouldn't talk about war. We should talk about regular stuff. It's weird. Comment below, how do you reconnect with those that are like putting it in your face like that, you know? It's kind of like how black guys too sometimes, oh, racism. It's like, buddy, chill out. You know, let's see you back that truck to a loading dock. That's where I'm going to criticize you. Let's see you shift your 13 speed. Let's see how well you drive. That's where I'm going to criticize you. So, yeah, I think I made my point many times. Good chatting with you guys. Bye for now.